Syracuse won by over 20 points, but it was only a 3-point game headed into the fourth quarter. These two teams look a lot different since that meeting. Georgia Woolley rims in and out to start this one. And UAlbany wearing the all-purple uniforms, they move from right to left. UAlbany starting 5, including Lilly Philips, Casey Donovan, Kayla Cooper, we already highlighted her, as Wood denies Phillips from behind. Offensive rebound for Cooper. Back up top, Donovan's 3, and it's too strong. Woolley the board.
The Orange are lucky that Donovan missed that one because they have given up a lot of open threes so far this season, and they've had to really feel the brunt of that. That's why they've lost 2 games already.
2 losses to St. Joe's and number 11 Maryland for the Orange. The ball trickles on the baseline, a turnover in and out of the hands of Delaney Hill, the freshman for UAlbany, gives it up. The Orange fans still clapping as neither team has scored a point yet. And that ends. Turnaround jumper for Izabel Varejao. Gets the Orange on the board first.
She can do it all down low. Her issue at the start of the season was trying to do a little bit too much, making 3 or 4 moves. That time, just a turnaround shot from Varejao, perfect.
Varejao averaging 8.5 points so far in her second season with the Orange after transferring by way of Michigan, originally from Southeast Brazil. The Great Danes a perfect 3-0. Driving into the lane is the Mount St. Mary's transfer, Captain Jessica Tomasetti, a real difference maker so far for UAlbany, averaging 12 points a game. Dom Camp a foul at the Block S logo defensively for the Orange.
This UAlbany team is really going to pressure Syracuse. A lot of on-ball pressure, especially. The Orange, of course, without their star point guard from last year in Deasia Fair, Dominique Camp, has taken that role, and she looked really good last game with 8 assists.
Camp, you see that bulky brace on her left knee, missed all of last year, her first with the Orange, with a torn ACL. Trapped and stripped of a ball. Guess who? Kayla Cooper. Flips it ahead to Donovan. Great defense from Burrows in transition. She breaks it up cleanly.
That's excellent hustle from Varejao to run all the way back and bring in that rebound. A lot of players would just stay back, and there would have been an offensive rebound, but the hustle from Varejao gives it back to the Orange.
A push on UAlbany defensively, trying to defend the big 6'4" Varejao. Charged that one on fellow grad student Casey Donovan, a transfer by way of Monmouth, where she was an all-conference selection. Out of the game is Hill, and in for the first time is Martina Boreas.
It'll be interesting to see how physical this game gets, how physical the referees let this game get. UAlbany wants it to be physical because they don't have the size advantage. They're going to get a lot more pushes, maybe some more hands in it.
No hand in the face of Woolley, another foul line jumper. She bricks it, and the Orange foul the Great Danes in transition. Woolley an 0 for 2 start for Syracuse's leading scorer so far this year, averaging 16 a game.
She's had a bit of an up and down start, though. Had single-digit points last time out. It was her lowest scoring margin against a non-Power 5 team since 2022.
That's one heck of a stat. But hey, plus 25 in the box score. When we talked to Coach Felicia Leggett-Jack before the game, she made sure to mention that. Tied at 2 a few minutes in. Contested shot for Donovan doesn't go, and Wood snags the board. She had a double-double on Sunday, and SU's near 20-point win against Fairleigh Dickinson. Camp finds Varejao, who motions Camp towards her. Now Varejao takes it herself. A couple spins and a fadeaway miss. UAlbany, the perfect start to their season after a 25-win campaign a year ago, which saw them make their second consecutive WNIT. Cooper trying to establish herself, but Varejao extends the arms and fends that away.
It's not going to be easy down low for Cooper, especially if she just tries to go straight at Varejao with that 4-inch disparity.
Varejao, a tough assignment against Cooper, who tied her career high with 26 points over the weekend against Sacred Heart. Varejao to the corner for Woolley with under 10 on the shot clock. Woolley one-on-one with Boreas, and she draws the foul, and Syracuse earns its first trip to the free throw line tonight.
That's just good aggression there from Woolley. She sees that she almost has a double team, realizes that she's by herself, and decides, hey, I'm just going to go up with it. The Syracuse team has really been forcing the paint so far this game, and they've already drawn a number of fouls. That's the third in less than 4 minutes of play.
Woolley's first rims in. A Syracuse team this season without one of the best sharpshooters in the country in Deasia Fair, who graduated, trying to get the ball down low more, which, you know, former big Alicia Leggett-Jack doesn't mind.
Even with Deasia Fair, that was still kind of the identity of this team, was to try and get it inside and then kick it out to the shooter Fair. Now without Fair, it's just a lot more even, and they're going to have to go inside and score there because they don't have that shooter.
Phillips into the lane. Wood with the defense. A little too good. She fouls the grad student captain, and UAlbany its first trip to the stripe.
It's a good drive, and Kyra Wood just moves her hand down. You got to keep them straight up, or else you're going to get called for a foul pretty much every single time. And this is a UAlbany team that you do not want to let get to the free throw line.
The Great Danes shoot 90% from the stripe, and you know, Adam, you mentioned that number to head coach Colleen Mullen in our chat with her earlier this week, and she said, Adam, you've jinxed us.
Yeah, she might not be too happy with me now.
Well, Phillips does sink the second, a 1-for-2 trip, as the Great Danes trail by 1. Phillips only her second miss in 10 tries from the stripe in this young season. Wood lofts it down low to Burrows. The pump fake, the extra pass. Wood loses control. Varejao kicks it out, and the Orange retain. Camp pulls the trigger and misses wide. Burrows the offensive board and score.
That's just pure hustle from Sophie Burrows to find that ball, put it up with her left hand after I bet she's a little bit frustrated for not scoring on the fast break. Gets it right back and puts it in.
Bounce pass to Cooper, deflected by Varejao. Orange back in transition. Up top to Varejao, who thinks about the three. She does have range, even at 6'4". Burrows off the pick. Varejao with some room, gets Cooper in the air. But a misconnection that Wood saves on the baseline. Under 10 on the shot clock. Woolley one-on-one, hoists up a shot and puts it in. What's the foul? Gabriella Falcao all over her. Woolley gets it done. Action, we send it over to the third member of our crew, Kay Racine.
It's Culture Night here in the Dome, an international celebration, and there are so many students here and athletes here on both teams that are from 5 different continents. I talked to Syracuse University guard Sophie Burrows, and she said, Kay, I'm so excited to be here in America playing under Coach Jack. She's not only developed me as a player, but as a person. And it's not only about that here in Syracuse tonight, it's about merging the diversity here at the university.
Thanks, Kay. Burrows alongside fellow teammate Maddie Potts, both from Melbourne, Australia, but their fellow Aussie, Georgia Woolley, by way of Brisbane. She's at the line trying to convert a 3-point play. Which she does, and Syracuse tripling up UAlbany halfway through the first. The Orange applying a little bit of pressure in the half court. Not a strong start, Adam, for this Great Danes offense, and specifically for Kayla Cooper, who's been held scoreless.
It's a very difficult matchup going against the size of this Syracuse team. The key for the Orange is just going to be to stay out of foul trouble.
A swat and a layup for Phillips off the hands of Arizona State transfer Journey Thompson. Phillips touched it last. It's Syracuse ball. Thompson, the lone sub for the Orange. Woolley, a dribbler that makes its way to Varejao's hands. Burrows the three. She sinks it. Shooting over 50% from 3 on the young season. Burrows continues to stay hot.
She's just been unreal. That 3 will put her over 60% this year. Just absolutely lethal. She's not missing right now.
12 for 20 from distance. Under the hoop, a kick out up top. A UAlbany offense that has not scored in over 4 minutes. Cooper changes that. She drills her first shot from the elbow.
And that's what she does so great. Just goes with the mid-range. Varejao doesn't want to go too far out because she knows that Cooper has the speed advantage, so just hits it with a mid-range shot.
How about the close range shot? Woolley with the response on the other end. Her second field goal, she's already got 7 to lead all scorers. Camp hits the deck as she swipes it away from Tomasetti. And a jump ball. UAlbany has the possession arrow.
That's another really incredible hustle play from the Syracuse team. We've seen a number of them already in this game. That time, Camp just dives towards it. And this Orange team is just putting its body on the line to start.
Exactly the way they have played since Coach Felicia Legette-Jack took over the program 2 years ago. Quick timeout, just 30 seconds. We'll keep it here as Syracuse continues to grow its early lead, Adam, over UAlbany. Very similar to the first quarter on Sunday against Fairleigh Dickinson when SU got off to a 10-0 start.
Yeah, this Orange team, though, has really struggled in second quarters this season. Struggled a little bit against Fairleigh Dickinson, but really the big one was against St. Joseph's when they just gave up a massive run and couldn't come back from it.
Syracuse was the worst team in the ACC before Felicia Legette-Jack came to town. They came back from that. First year, they win 20 games. Year 2, 2024 ACC Coach of the Year. Best first 2 seasons since the team joined Division I in the early 80s. And Felicia Legette-Jack, a player with this team in the mid-80s. All-American honorable mention play.
Best player in the history of this program. The only player with her jersey up in the rafters right now.
And not until Kayla Alexander joins her early next month. Georgia Woolley joins her fellow Aussie, Sophie Burrows, and burying triples. This one from the other corner. 17-5 Cuse. Cooper one-on-one with a new player into the game for the Orange, Sanaya Wilson. On the far side, it's Varejao who swings it down low to Cooper. And through the trees, she flips it up and in.
So far, it's been really Kayla Cooper, and that's all on offense for UAlbany. They got to start getting the rest of their players going.
Well, defense can turn into offense. Freshman Martina Barrejao with the steal. Phillips down the lane, kicks out to the wide-open Cooper. Defended by Shy Hawkins into the ball game. Three-pointer up and bricked by Lacey Drake, but they need her to keep shooting after she had a career high in points against Sacred Heart. Doesn't get much easier than that. Thompson all alone under the hoop off the feed from Camp.
That 10-second stretch is a perfect example of how this first quarter has gone. A wide-open 3 missed for UAlbany, and then an easy transition bucket for Syracuse.
Syracuse, a 6 for 10 start from the field. As Drake threads the needle, trying to find Barrejao. Georgia Woolley, she played a lot off the ball. Adam, in her first few years here at Syracuse, playing with Deasia Fair, she knows how to get it done. And when you got a facilitator like Dom Camp, you'll always find a way to get it to the open player on the move.
Even Journey Thompson, who's new to this team on that last bucket, just finding the open space. That's something that the Orange have done really well on offense so far in this game, and it's where the Great Danes have struggled. You've seen multiple times, multiple UAlbany players being right next to each other. That's not been the case so far for Syracuse. They've spread it out really well.
Lacey Drake making her presence felt off the bench. She nearly runs right into us courtside with the deflection. As the Syracuse offense, it's the only way to slow them down right now. Camp flips it in to Thompson. Gives it up to the freshman Kira Scott, and her hook shot rattles in. Scott has provided instant offense for the Orange, the 4-star, with her first bucket.
She had about a 6-7 inch size advantage there. Got to go to the rack right away, and she's been so impressive all season, so athletic, has such long arms. She's just going to do that all game if they continue to put a smaller player on her.
UAlbany has continued to struggle on defense. The Orange have made 7 straight shots. A great feed from Drake, all alone, Barrejao. Orange still lead by 12. Camp, the pull-up 2, does not get the friendly bounce. Another board for Barrejao. Ahead to Cooper. In the corner, Tomasetti. Shot short. Miscommunication Hawkins was never looking back for the ball, and Tomasetti gets a revenge.
And that's one that she really wanted to knock down because those threes in the corner are ones that she usually makes.
Tomasetti hitting over 44% of her triples on the early season. A travel on the baseline. Another Orange turnover. That one for Thompson.
Syracuse has really been pushing the pace on offense. First look that they get, they're taking it. We saw it with the Dom Camp pull-up, the pull-up on that chance. With how UAlbany is trying to pressure them, I think that Syracuse is just trying to take the first look that they can get because they know that this Great Danes team is going to try and turn them over.
Syracuse already 5 turnovers in the early going. Angelica Velez, the LSU transfer into the game. She nearly knocks over Tomasetti. Donovan picks up her dribble. Drake, the open 3. Short. Scrapping for the ball. Thompson and Cooper, who flips it up but is now down on the court in pain, grabbing at her right shoulder. Concern on the face of her UAlbany teammates as her head coach Colleen Mullen makes her way onto the floor, and one of the best players in all of the America East being tended to right now.
Yeah, a lot of concern here. You said it, one of the best players in the conference, one of the better players in the Northeast, really, and one of the players that you really don't want to see down right now.
And Colleen Mullen has been with her every step of the way. You can see her off the left side of the paint. And it looked like when Thompson hit the deck, her momentum dragged Donovan down with her, Cooper down with her. She's helped up to her feet. Already a strong start for Cooper, 4 points. Tied for the lead for UAlbany. Back-to-back America East first team all-conference selection. And that's the kind of production that UAlbany is going to have to be without if she can't return to this game as they start working on her right shoulder.
You said it earlier, she is a superstar. This team goes as far as Kayla Cooper goes. So now they're going to need someone else to step up.
Waning second to the first quarter, which has been a tough one for the Great Danes, trying to keep their perfect start. Drake, through traffic, pulls up for 2, and doesn't hit the rim. Syracuse flexing its muscle early against its upstate rival with a double-digit lead. There they go. Hey, good things are worth the wait. UAlbany without its leading scorer, Kayla Cooper, to start this quarter after she went down with an upper body injury at the end of the first. But they don't miss a beat. A lucky bounce for the junior big, Gabriella Varejao. More than half the second unit on the floor for the Orange. And one of them makes a play down low, Sanaya Wilson, with a turnaround score off the Burroughs assist.
There's 3 points all season coming into this game for Wilson, but just like everyone before her, she has that size down low, so she's just going to attack.
And that's where she makes her bread and butter. Wilson missed the first 2 games of his season with an injury and played over 13 minutes in the win on Sunday against FDU. Back-to-back makes to start the frame for the Great Danes. Casey Donovan, her 3rd triple on the young year.
You had to think eventually one of those threes was going to go in. UAlbany missed its first 3 wide open ones, and that time they make them pay. Angelica Velez was just caught too far down the court, and it's just too easy.
Burroughs doubled at the top of the key. SU's 3rd leading scorer getting plenty of the attention. Kira Scott, a contested pull-up, doesn't drop. Into the game for the first time, Megan Herter for the Great Danes. She had the rebound. Tomasetti. And this Great Danes team coming out on fire to start the second quarter.
And this isn't anything new for Syracuse. Struggles in the second quarter. We're outscored by double digits in both losses against both St. Joe's and Maryland. And we're to start here.
Offensive foul on Velez and a turnover for the Orange. A platoon swap as they try to stop the bleeding. Woolley, Wood, and Camp all about to come in.
There's got to be a change here because right now it's just simply too easy for UAlbany. Just a great give and go. Tomasetti with the jumper. He was left open. She's going to make him pay.
Tomasetti already 6 points, an all-conference player at Mount St. Mary's. Coach Colleen Mullen said she wishes she could have 15 of her. She keeps making shots like that. You'll understand why. Shot clock under 10. Tomasetti matched up with Wood. Donovan stuck on Burrows. She hoists a three. Woolley on the run. 7 points in the first quarter for the senior. Cooper back into the game for UAlbany. A great sign. Burrows for three, and it's wide of a mark. A rare sight, a Burrows miss.
Yeah, those are the shots that you want her to take. She may miss every once in a while, but it's a good look.
Fadeaway for Donovan. Anything's a good look for her. All-conference player at Monmouth a season ago, translating here in this Power 4 matchup. UAlbany has closed the gap to three with a 7-0 run. Varejao's three, wide and right. Cooper the rebound. Deflection for Woolley, but she runs in the wood and neither player snags it. Tomasetti out. Into the game, freshman Delaney Hill, who catches it. She started all 4 games for the Great Danes by way of Charlotte. Cooper, the hand in her face, doesn't matter. Shaking off that early injury, still rotating that right shoulder, it doesn't matter.
She's automatic from the mid-range, but I think she's starting to figure out that she can't go too down low against Varejao with the size disadvantage.
Jump ball for the Great Danes. It stays with Syracuse, but that bench still loving the energy that UAlbany has shown this second.
And again, Cooper realizes that she can't go too far inside, and she just has that open room. And then just the hustle defense here from Cooper again with the help of Delaney Hill to force that jump ball. Dom Camp just didn't have any help. There was nowhere she could go with the ball.
Cooper is playing through some pain right now. She just took a shoulder from Georgia Woolley as Cooper ended up committing the foul, and she was grimacing. Timeout on the floor, and Cooper comes right back out for Varejao.
You can tell she wants to work on it. Yeah, I mean, she runs right straight to the trainer. She wants to be in this game.
Hill trapped by Burrows, and Woolley, she hits the deck, and it's loose. Donovan picks it up as Woolley hits the floor hard. Phillips, the reset. She's ran the point each of the last 3 years for UAlbany, although she joined the program originally as a 6'1" big. Herder with the shot clock winding down. Pretty much a grenade chucked up by Varejao, and it misses.
It's a great defensive possession from Syracuse, and you can see just what happens with this UAlbany offense when Cooper goes off the floor.
Kyra Wood, the reverse layup, doinks off the rim.
It's one you rarely see her miss off the back of the rim. It's hard to miss it that way, just off the back and have it bounce straight up.
It's been that kind of quarter for Syracuse. UAlbany on a 9-0 run over the last 3 minutes. A travel for Phillips as she was wedged under 2 Syracuse players.
It's a great job defensively by Kyra Wood to just stand tall, keep her hands straight up in the air, not commit a foul, and force the travel.
Sloppy game so far, 12 turnovers between these 2 teams. Kayla Cooper has left the floor with that upper body injury that she suffered late in the first quarter. Camp to Burrows. An Orange offense that is sputtering without a point in over 4 minutes. And it doesn't change. Boreas denies Woolley. But she's happy the ball stays with the Cuse, deflected off the leg of a Great Danes player.
The Great Danes have done a great job of closing off all the passing lanes. In the first quarter, Syracuse had a lot of open players, a lot of easy passes, and the pressure is really amped up here in the second.
Alicia Leggett-Jack. The team's already suffered one loss to a mid-major in St. Joe's, trying to avoid another slip-up in non-conference play, albeit a Great Danes team projected to finish second in the America East. Wood to Varejao, and she travels with the pump fake against Falcao. UAlbany has made it a game. Syracuse clinging to the 1-point advantage in the second. Swung the momentum in its direction in the second quarter because of a Mount St. Mary's transfer, Jessica Tomasetti.
She was used to being the #1 option at the Mount last year. All-conference player, wasn't really expected to be in that role this season, but she has stepped up in this game, did a great job passing. I mean, that give and go is just veteran stuff. Knowing where to be on the floor, that's what she brings to this team.
Had a connection with Coach Colleen Mullen previously, as Mullen, when she was the associate head coach at Army, recruited Tomasetti to play for her with the Black Knights. And well, when Tomasetti hit the portal after winning a couple of conference championships at the Mount, a few days later, she committed to play for Mullen in UAlbany. Great Danes on a 9-0 run, nearly intercepted by the freshman into the ball game for the first time tonight, Olivia Schmidt, by way of Staten Island.
She's really impressed me this season. An energizer bunny on the court, you could call her, just always going right after everything, diving all over the floor.
Tomasetti gets the Syracuse defense out of position, and Woolley, flying towards Donovan, ends up whacking her in the face.
Good job by Donovan, maybe selling it a little bit. She got hit up top, but really just throws her head back right away, and she'll get the call every single time after doing that.
Hey, it's a performance. The turnaround shot, and it rolls off the hoop for Falcao. Woolley ahead to the Energizer bunny Schmidt. One of 3 guards really trusted to handle the ball this season for Syracuse alongside Camp and Velez. Varejao spinning and missing. Varejao says it's Syracuse's ball, and the officials agree.
Those are the type of post moves that you want to see, though, from Varejao. Puts her head down, makes one move, and then goes to the rack. May have missed that layup, but she gave herself an open opportunity by just going straight to the hoop.
Varejao, very experienced, her collegiate career going all the way back to 2019 when she was a freshman in Michigan. Before the season, Coach Jack describing Varejao as a pro, and those post moves certainly look like it. Doesn't hurt that her uncle, longtime NBA big man Anderson Varejao. Schmidt from the top of the key. All alone, Journey Thompson, the deuce.
All alone, to say the least. There was no one else within 10 feet of Thompson. She was alone for a while, too. It took a minute for Schmidt to find her.
The 9-0 run ends for UAlbany, but a new one begins. Back again, Kayla Cooper, giving everything she has, battling through some upper body issues in this first half.
After a miscommunication on one end of the floor, we see the exact same thing on the other side.
Schmidt throws it away, but Burrows keeps it in play. Oh, wow. The Aussies doing everything they can, Georgia Woolley too, to keep the ball. It's Woolley time. 4 on the shot clock. She gets it done.
That's the Georgia Woolley that I want to see, telling all of her teammates, no, I got this, let me take it, ISO. She called that herself. That's something that we always saw Deasia Fair do, and we see Georgia Woolley do it there, and it worked out.
Corner 3, buckets for Martina Barrejao. Came into the game 0 for 10 from the field. And now the freshman's got the first points of her collegiate career tonight.
Sometimes all you got to do is see one go in, and then the rest start to fall.
UAlbany has tied the game after trailing by 10 after 1. Thompson through traffic, no problem. She traveled, there is a problem. Too good to be true for the Arizona State transfer, and Syracuse turns it over for the 8th time. UAlbany doubling up SU in the second. Cooper goes baseline. She was pushed out of bounds, foul on the Orange.
These referees have really been quick to blow the whistle today. Pretty much any contact has resulted in a foul.
That foul was on Thompson, who comes out of the game for Wood. Lilly Philips, the captain, off the UAlbany bench in exchange for the freshman Hill. Fresh shot clock for UAlbany. Aaron pass from Phillips, but it finds Varejao. Cooper faces up to Varejao. Varejao, another corner look. And this one, she airmails. Offensive board for Phillips. And a foul down low on Syracuse. Again, the quick whistle from Kevin Sparrick. The officials getting together to confirm the call, as Felicia Leggett-Jack and company waiting in suspense, and this one appears to be going under review.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a foul. The question was whether or not it hit the rim.
That three-pointer from Varejao didn't
Shot clock
appear,
time is under review,
as confirmed by head official Cameron Eknoe. Didn't seem like that triple try for Varejao hit the rim, and might need to adjust the shot clock and the game clock.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So there's going to be a lot less time now for UAlbany. But there were 2 open threes on that possession that the Great Danes missed.
Great look from underneath the
that
hoop.
did it, yeah.
The flight of the ball definitely got redirected by the rim there.
In the moment, it didn't seem like it hit it at all. It seemed like it was a obvious air ball, but just hits the back of the rim. From our vantage point, looked like it missed, and same with some of the officials. Got it right on the floor.
Well, that call came in from Sparrick, who was lined up pretty much front court right, one of our 3 officials tonight, so he didn't really have a great view of it either. Or maybe he did have a good view of it and was the one who decided to stop play and make sure they got this call right. Seems like they figured it out.
shot clock time is confirmed.
So it's 2 minutes on the game clock in the second quarter. 17 seconds on the shot clock, and a tied game between these upstate foes. UAlbany in search of its first win in 7 tries against Syracuse.
This is a very good UAlbany team, though, and a great program. This is a squad that won 25 games last year, has been in postseason play each of the last 3 seasons. So while they may come from the American East, it's not at all an easy matchup, and Syracuse knew that coming in.
Olivia Schmidt turns on the Jets and scores. Turning defense into offense, poking it free from Tomasetti.
That's what she can do. I called her the Energizer Bunny earlier on. Just jumps in front of the pass, takes it the other way. It's a great burst off the bench.
In a tight game like this, where both teams have looked sloppy, you need some of those plays to break your way. Too aggressive from Schmidt, as Varejao calms her down, and she fouled Phillips.
And Schmidt just steps right in front of it. Tomasetti didn't even realize that she was reading the pass, and of course it's an easy layup. Right now it's Schmidt and then the other 4 starters in for Syracuse. It's really interesting to see as the season goes on what's going to happen with this point guard spot, whether it's Dominique Camp, Angelica Velez, or if Schmidt can take the job, as she looks really good.
Donovan dancing with Wood. Varejao switches onto her and provides a clean shot contest.
That's a great shot contest. I've said it all game long. Keep your arms straight up, and that's what she did there.
Schmidt just short on the pull-up triple.
Like the aggression, though, with the step back. She gave herself room.
Just over a minute to go before the break. UAlbany, a 10-point deficit headed into the second quarter. They've trimmed it to 2. Cooper back in attack mode. Spinning, scoring with beautiful touch.
Well, there's the speed advantage. Speed sometimes can beat size, goes with the spin, and Varejao just couldn't keep up with him.
Cooper came to UAlbany not as a player who had a lot of experience in the post. She's got athleticism of a guard playing down low. SU the offensive board. as Woolley looks towards the SU bench. He gets the call from Coach Jack. 7 on the shot clock. Schmidt off the pick and roll, finds Varejao for the easy 2.
About as perfect of a pick and roll as you can get. The great bounce pass as well from Schmidt. That's not something that you can forget. That bounce pass was perfect to lead Varejao into the great spot to lay it in.
Schmidt, her second assist. 7 seconds left, first half. Caught by Donovan into the lane, through contact. Draws the foul on Burrows. She'll have a chance to tie it at the line. Second on Burrows. Only 5 combined free throws between these teams in the first half. We've talked about the referees, but not a lot of stoppages at the charity stripe.
A lot of fouls, not many shooting fouls, though.
Donovan now a perfect 3 for 3 from the stripe. Now 3 for 4. Burrows the rebound. The heave from Schmidt did not get it off in time. It didn't matter. UAlbany facing...
Stick to the game plan to come out with a win.
Syracuse certainly saw UAlbany play in the second quarter when they outscored SU by 9. Fans on their feet until the Orange score their first points of the second half. The Great Danes get the first crack at it. Shot clock under 10. As Hill picks up her dribble, floats it down low to Cooper, and she scores on the run. 12 points for her.
That's just an excellent first possession out of the break. The weave on the offense, they never stop moving, and then you find Cooper cutting in towards the middle. That's a great play out of the break.
Cam feeds Wood, who draws a double, and her shot rings out. Varejao, second chance, and it doinks in. The players we highlighted, making us look pretty smart.
Felicia Legette-Jack said it at the half that her bigs need to be better and more aggressive, and there it is. Varejao getting the offensive rebound, just like her head coach asked her to do.
Give Varejao 6 points on 6 shots. Orange still up 1. Tomasetti gets it to Cooper, who takes the chest of Wood straight to her elbow. Luckily, it wasn't the one she dinged up in the first half. That's the first foul on either team in this quarter.
You can already feel the change of pace from UAlbany on the offensive end. The ball's not sticking anymore. They're always moving, quick passes, because I think they've understood that Syracuse has struggled a little bit rotating on defense, so those quick passes are going to work.
10 assists for the Great Danes on 14 made shots. Tomasetti punked from behind as Camp took it off her head. Woolley slowed up by Phillips. Burrows the trailer. And that ball sailed wide of the mark. Wood could not keep it in play.
Those are shots that Burrows usually makes, and it was a great job by Woolley after the pass to give a bit of a screen. That's one that the Aussies going to want back.
Burrows really burst out on the scene in Syracuse's final game of last year. It's a round of 32 loss to UConn, where she scored double-digit points and made almost 10 triples. 1 for 3 from distance tonight. UAlbany has taken the lead. Phillips on the cut and score.
Burrows just got caught ball watching there. Phillips ran right behind her on the back door and was wide open.
Olivia Schmidt, who had a strong end of a first half for Syracuse, she's at the scorer's table. Woolley looking to score, and she fools Phillips down low.
There's been a couple times today where you feel like Georgia Woolley is entering takeover mode on some possessions, and she does it right there.
Well, it's been a winning formula. 14 points on just 9 shots for the captain. Cooper, the 2-time captain, bursts into the lane, and it's denied by Wood. Off of Cooper, it goes to Syracuse.
The excellent job by Wood to recover on defense. Cooper beat her initially and then was able to get back and block it, but we just see what Cooper can do. We talk about her scoring so much, but the great backdoor pass there. She just can do it all.
2 assists, 5 boards, 12 points in just 18 minutes. Varejao to Camp in the far corner. Backdoor cut for Schmidt, the extra pass to Wood. Cooper stays in front of her, and that one doesn't roll in off front iron. Cooper in transition from the foul line. The rim does her no help. Schmidt loses it. Picked up by Hill, and UAlbany resets.
This is a really interesting lineup on the floor right now for Syracuse with both Dominique Camp and Olivia Schmidden. You don't usually see the 2 point guards playing together.
Schmidt just came in for Burrows as Wood poked it free from Cooper. And the ball trickles out off of UAlbany. Thompson in for Wood. The 5 on the floor for the Orange. Woolley, Schmidt, Varejao, Camp, and Journey. Thompson. Schmidt at the controls. One of 4 true freshmen on this year's Syracuse team. Woolley against Donovan, spins with nowhere to go. Schmidt overthought that one and traveled.
That's the perfect way to say it, overthought. She took probably an extra 2 seconds before even making a move. When that ball gets into your hands, you gotta shoot, drive, pass it off. That's the issue with this Syracuse offense. They've been too hesitant at times.
Schmidt, she's gotten experience through Syracuse's first 4 games, playing 11 minutes a night. But her first year at the collegiate level.
Something you see a lot with freshmen.
Cooper bursting by Thompson. She draws the foul.
Thompson just swung her arm down at Cooper, was trying to get the block, but it hit her on the arm. And I mentioned this earlier, but you don't want to let Cooper get to the foul line because she's usually just about perfect.
Yeah, that wasn't the case for Cooper when she came to UAlbany 4 years ago. She shot 40% from the line. Now she is a 90% free throw shooter.
It was really interesting in our conversation with head coach Colleen Mullen before this game about how she called herself the free throw maestro, and if there's some things with players that she doesn't need to fix, then she's not going to touch it. But with a player like Cooper, she realizes, hey, I can make you do this and turn you from a superstar to an all-star.
Dom Camp from coast to coast. Getting friendly with one of our camera operators as she raced to the cup at 100 miles an hour.
That's what you want to see from Syracuse when they're going up against this full court press. A great pass from Woolley, and Camp just took it in stride.
And nice to see Camp, you know, just over a year removed from tearing her ACL, still wearing that knee brace, showing off the second gear and converting the 3-point play. Orange up 2. Phillips brings the ball up. Donovan to Cooper, who faces up against Thompson. Boreas to the far corner. Phillips for 3. Her first of the season couldn't come at a better time. Great Danes up 1.
You had to think eventually those threes were going to start falling. Syracuse, throughout this entire season, has left shooters open.
Schmidt gets some room, but misses it off the glass. Thompson gets the second chance for the Orange. Dribble handoff to Schmidt. Varejao between 2 Great Danes. And an off-the-ball foul on UAlbany. It goes rather on Syracuse.
Seconds.
Yeah.
As you can see, just a wide open 3. Dom Camp was stuck down low. She was in the paint, and Lilly Philips just had all the time in the world. She could have taken an extra deep breath before she let that shot fly.
Sophie Burrows sits at the scorer's table for the Orange. While UAlbany does some more scoring on the court. Casey Donovan back-to-back from distance for a Great Danes team starting to feel it. Off the ball push on Donovan. Maybe a little too excited after draining that 3. UAlbany in search of one of its bigger wins in program history, taking control halfway through the 3rd. Over the last 45 seconds. Starting to show that this team, like Coach Mullen told us, Adam, really can shoot it from deep.
And this is exactly the recipe that St. Joseph used to beat Syracuse earlier in this season. Create a lot of confusion on the defensive end for the Orange and give your shooters space, and now they're finally making them pay. In the first quarter, it was just miss three after miss three for UAlbany, but now they're finally making them, and because of it, they're in the lead.
4 for 10 from deep as a unit. Casey Donovan, the Monmouth transfer, leads the pack. She made the last 3 and has 2 on the game. Syracuse with the ball out of the break. Down by 4. Woolley to Camp. Varejao fakes the pass to Burrows, spins, and flips it in for 2.
That's got to be the recipe this entire game. Syracuse has dominated in the paint a lot of the time this season, and they have the size advantage today. Varejao has about 6 inches on her current defender. Just give it to her and let her work.
Varejao, the bucket to slice the deficit to 2. Phillips for 3, and the lead up to 5 for UAlbany.
Wide open. Wide open. There were 2 open shooters on that play.
45-40, UAlbany over Syracuse. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. UAlbany an off-the-ball foul. Syracuse a chance to regroup. Varejao's been really good in the second half, Adam. Already 4 points, but 3's a little more valuable than 2's.
Yeah, and UAlbany's just making their 3s now, making it rain from the outside.
Felicia will get Jack. Not a fan of that call. An offensive foul that leads to an Orange turnover, and she's having it with Kevin Sparrow.
I think that's a 5-second. It's like the coach is putting up the 5, which there's not really much arguing against because they count it down.
Yep.
So yeah, that is a 5 seconds violation after the 3-second violation in the paint earlier in this quarter too.
On Syracuse.
Yeah. I mean, those are just mistakes that you see, you know, in middle school. Those aren't mistakes that you see Syracuse make.
The Orange applying the pressure in the full court. Into the hands of Megan Herter. Jessica Tomasetti at the scorer's table for UAlbany. Kayla Cooper to the corner. Another 3 up. Another 3 in. Donovan and Phillips taking over. The lead up to 8 for the Great Danes.
Izabel Varejao down low is being asked to guard both the 3-point line and the paint, and that's impossible. And because of it, it's leaving these shooters open. Whenever there's someone inside, Varejao crashes down, and they kick it out to a wide open shooter. As you see here, again, Varejao crashed down as Burrows let Cooper get by her, and then it just led to the open shot.
Hill out of the game for UAlbany. In Tomasetti. Wood checks in for Schmidt on the Orange side of things. Varejao was fouled, but on the floor. Varejao over 2 defenders, too strong. Wood, the second chance. Off of 1 foot, she gets it to go. The Orange trying to will themselves back in this one. A 12-2 run for the Great Danes ends.
It looks like Varejao got knocked down pretty hard at the end of that play. Well, that's just great hustle there from Kyra Wood. That's what Felicia Leggett-Jack was asking for her team on the offensive glass, to really pick things up.
Coach Jack, again, chatting it up with Sparrow, the official who's right in front of us. And Jack, well, you can hear her voice from anywhere, from the other end of the court. If I told you before the game Kyra Wood wouldn't score until the third quarter, I think you'd know Syracuse is having some problems. SU's second leading scorer headed in. Tomasetti cannot thread the needle to Phillips. That's a UAlbany turnover.
This is a crucial possession now for Syracuse, because that's an unforced turnover there for UAlbany. Now you got to go the other way and score. Down by 6, you can't let this get any worse.
Varejao, one-on-one, draws the foul on Donovan. Georgia Woolley has had a great night at him, but right now Syracuse understands it needs to dominate down low.
Yeah, because it's working. Varejao 6'4", Donovan listed at 6'1", but I mean, it seems like on the court, just looking at it, more than a 3-inch differential. Varejao has been able to get it done. She's also a really good passer too, so if UAlbany starts to bring a double team, then Varejao might be able to work out of that, but they gotta give her more opportunities inside.
Making 1.5 assists per game is Varejao, but only a 40% free throw shooter, and she misses the first. One for two trip, 5-point lead for UAlbany, who's made each of its last 4 shots. Gabriela Varejao gives it up to Phillips, the glue player of this UAlbany operation. Backdoor cut, Tomasetti, but she's stuck. Dom Camp fighting for the ball. Cooper crossover on Wood. Into the lane, she draws the foul. And Burrows can't believe it, stunned at the call.
Just a good drive from Cooper, the crossover to get past Wood. Yeah, Burrows looked like she got mostly ball. Cooper did a good job of selling the contact. And she gets to the line so often, every single game. She knows what it takes to get the calls.
2 for 3 from the strike, but like you said, she shoots over 6 free throws a night.
I guess you could say ball don't lie on that first free throw.
Well, the ball does go in that time around, so not a complete bust for Cooper and company. 3rd foul on Burrows. Camp and Tomasetti one-on-one. Woolley gets trapped. Trying to fight her way through it. Phillips poking at the ball. All alone was Wood. Varejao couldn't find her. Shot clock winding down. Woolley spinning. Woolley nearly scoring. Cooper, the one-woman wrecking crew. She's got numbers. Herder all alone. She can't make them pay. Off of Burrows, it stays on the right end of the floor.
You can just feel the energy that this UAlbany team is playing with right now. Syracuse looks to be just tired out there, hands on hips. Really got to pick things up over these last 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Cooper on Wood, and that's all too easy. 15 points for Kayla Cooper. Woolley, air ball. Wood gets it out to Burrows. Woolley, one more go. Needed it. Orange within 5 on that triple.
That's a massive one. Georgia Woolley, as you said, needed to make it. Breakdown on the defensive end. She was left open and makes them pay.
Herder hands off to Varejao. Backdoor cut Phillips. She gets some space, and she drills it from the baseline.
That's got to be the 4th or 5th time today that Dom Camp has gotten caught on a backdoor pass. She's got to be more careful. These players are just getting behind her.
Wood denied by Varejao. It stays with the Orange. Boreas into the game.
See, once again, Camp just caught looking. This UAlbany team, as I said, is playing with energy. When you're an underdog and you take a lead, you usually run with it.
The Orange trying to halt them in their tracks. Woolley and one off the inbound.
And it's got to be Georgia Woolley here for Syracuse. Coach Jack said before the season that this is her team. And with her team down, she's got to step up. Made the 3, now a chance for another 3-point play.
And she sinks it. 18 points for Woolley, which is exceeding her season average headed in. 3rd year with Syracuse, 4th year of collegiate basketball, all of them with Felicia Leggett-Jack in charge. Poked away. Camp comes up with the ball. Burrows, Varejao. Orange swinging the momentum in their direction to close out the 3rd.
And that was an excellent pass by Burrows to find Varejao down low, who had room and put it in off the glass.
Varejao up to 11. UAlbany not slowing down with 10 seconds to go. Phillips directing traffic. Screen from Cooper. 3 seconds. Phillips has to get a shot up. She didn't know what to do. Syracuse
Just got to keep doing what they've been doing in these last 2 quarters. They're not making mistakes. They're doing a great job of finding the open player, being very quick with the ball. There's so much off-ball movement as well. Great screens. It's really just trying to confuse the Syracuse defense, and it's working.
Phillips, Donovan, both of those players hit multiple threes in the 3rd quarter to give UAlbany the lead. Great Danes bailed out by an orange foul as that possession was going nowhere quick. UAlbany burns a timeout just half a minute into the 4th quarter. Great Danes still lead by 2. Syracuse in the middle of its 5th straight home game to start the season. When ACC play rolls around, a lot of ranked competition on the slate. It starts early next month against number 6 Notre Dame on a big day for Syracuse athletics as Kayla Alexander is going to have her jersey retired.
It can't get any tougher than that to start off ACC play, hosting Hannah Hidalgo and Notre Dame. One of the toughest conferences in the country. You can absolutely make the argument it is the best in women's basketball, and it's going to get tough for Syracuse.
It's been tough tonight for the Orange. They catch a break as Phillips airballs a 3 out of a timeout, and the shot clock expires on the Great Danes. Around the nation, a big storyline tonight. UConn head coach Gino Auriemma well on his way to becoming the winningest head coach in Division I basketball history. His Huskies lead FDU, the team Syracuse beat over the weekend by nearly 30 points in the 4th quarter. Burrows comes up huge in the final frame. Back here in Syracuse, the Orange up 1.
I said a few minutes ago that Syracuse has been a little bit too hesitant at times today. That was the opposite from Burrows. The second that ball got into her hand, she let it go. I don't think that she held that for more than literally a second.
Her second 3. Cooper, Hezzy, through a couple defenders, kicks it out. Open 3, wide of the mark for Barrage. Varejao, the trailer, she's got range, but she misses the rim entirely.
You're okay with it, take that shot though.
An open 3 for Phillips. Rims out. Cooper and Wood fighting for it. Cooper wins the battle.
Felt like right at the end of that 3rd quarter, these teams were starting to make their shots. Sophie Burrows did it here a moment ago, but we've seen now UAlbany miss a couple wide open 3s. Varejao, who is usually pretty decent at shooting for a big, just completely missed one. Could be a big factor in this 4th quarter who can make their 3s, because both teams have struggled at times from beyond the arc today.
Phillips takes a hit from Woolley. She's all right. Down the lane, Donovan, the reverse layup. Good. What's the foul against Varejao?
It's just an excellent drive. She uses her speed to burst past Varejao and then rolls it in, extends that arm all the way out, doesn't give Varejao a chance to touch it.
Donovan came into the night averaging 7 points per game. She's got 14 with a chance for one more. Camp out, Schmidt in at guard for the Orange. 3-point play successful, 2-point lead for UAlbany, 8 minutes to go.
The addition of players like Donovan is what makes this team so dangerous.
Woolley dangerous all night long. 23 points for the senior captain. Hughes back in front.
She's feeling it right now. You got to keep giving her the ball.
2 for 2 from distance. Phillips to Tomasetti. Switched on to Wood. Cooper wants the ball. Through 2 defenders, she kicks it out. Tomasetti, the open look. She converts. Back and forth we go.
It's another one, another wide open 3. That's got to be 6 or 7 or even more just wide open opportunities in this game for UAlbany.
UAlbany 7 of 17 from deep. Tied up at 59. Varejao 13 points. Tomasetti and Schmidt in the backcourt.
It's a fun point guard matchup right now. Tomasetti, super experienced. Schmidt, the freshman.
Cooper up top to Donovan. Just short. Wood keeps it in play. Cooper racing in one-on-one. Runs right into Varejao, and she draws the offensive foul.
Big time from Varejao. Usually you don't see her draw charges that often, but this time realizes it's the perfect opportunity. Slides over and just puts the body on the line there.
Love a reaction too from Iza. Cooper like a freight train from the top of the key, and right afterwards, Varejao clapping, trying to give her team some life. As UAlbany trying to pull off the upset. They have never beaten Syracuse in 6 prior tries. UAlbany just one all-time win against the Power 4 team 10 years ago. Varejao doubled. In the corner, Schmidt, and the freshman can't come up with it. Wood with the offensive board, and she's fouled from behind.
Those offensive rebounds are what you want to see here from Syracuse. They really struggled on the offensive glass in the first half, but have started to pick it up here. I mean, Kayla Wood just has such a massive size advantage down low that pretty easy for her to bring it in as long as she's fully aggressive at it.
Cooper back into the game after the Donovan foul. Burrows a nifty pass. Woolley gets the screen, doesn't take it. Beautiful pass to Varejao. And she converts as it toilet pulls in. 15 points for the 6th-year.
She's been so clean down low. Again, you got to keep feeding her. It should be Burrows and Varejao. Those are the two that are getting it done offensively right now.
Phillips to Cooper. The key to success for UAlbany this season. Phillips faking Schmidt out of her shoes. Open on the wing, Hill for 3. Money! UAlbany up 1. Under 6 to play.
Wide open again. Woolley couldn't close out in time, and once again, you leave a player open, she'll make you pay.
First points on the night for Hill. As Wood gets jumbled up down low, but draws a foul on Cooper. Her 4th. You see, Adam, the lower right leg of Woolley. A little bit awkward as she had to pause for a moment, and now she's grabbing at her leg. We've seen the stars for both teams tonight fighting through some pain.
We see that wrap on the lower right leg of Woolley. She was kind of playing with it a little bit, moving it around after she kind of slipped up a little bit. Syracuse can't afford to see her have to sit on the bench.
She stays in the game as Wood makes her first, and we're tied. Megan Herter at the scorer's table for UAlbany. Younger sister of NBA player Kevin Herter. Wood, clutch, 2 for 2. Herter into the game. Her brother Kevin was once heavily recruited by Syracuse, both of them from Saratoga Springs. He ended up playing at Maryland and now plays for the Kings in the NBA.
He was an electric player for those Terps teams back in the day.
Herter trying to show she's got the range too, but it rolls off. Another chance. Hill another 3. A miss. A 3rd chance. Herter the board. Orange up 1, halfway down in the 4th. Tomasetti. Varejao switches on to her. She goes into the lane, pulls up for 2. It rattles off, and Varejao skies for the rebound.
That's the look that UAlbany wants, though. Got the switch with Varejao on the smaller Tomasetti, and she got the open look, just couldn't finish the shot.
Wood trying to finish again in the paint. She tips the ball up to herself and draws another foul. Great effort from the 3-time captain. This one's going down to the wire. Syracuse by 1, 4:40 to go. One-point game, under 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Adam, what do you think is being heard in the huddle between those two teams?
I think the big thing for Syracuse has been the message the entire season. You got to be more disciplined defensively, leaving way too many shooters wide open. And for UAlbany, it's continue to move the ball quickly. When they move the ball, they're able to find those open shooters, and they're having success. This is going to be a fun chess match. These are two really experienced coaches who have had a lot of success. It all comes down to this.
Colleen Mullen has known Felicia Leggett-Jack since Mullen was a player at the collegiate level, a point guard at URI in New Hampshire. Colleen's wife, Lauren, actually coached by Felicia when Felicia Leggett-Jack was a head coach at Hofstra. Wood, 3 of her last 3 from the line, and the Orange up 2.
That's key for one of your forwards to be able to make these free throws in a tight game.
And now a perfect 4 for 4 down the stretch. UAlbany trailed by 10 after the first. Tightened the deficit to 2 at the break and led by 1 headed into this quarter. Syracuse trying to stave off the upset. Phillips to an open Barrage. Runs into Schmidt, gets it back. Under 10 on the shot clock. Phillips, the quick reset. Gets the screen, Varejao onto her. And Varejao fouls Phillips on the floor.
Very interesting. Kayla Cooper is still on the bench right now. Of course, she dealt with that upper body injury early in the game, was able to come back in.
She does have 4 fouls.
You got to wonder at what point you put her back in with 4 fouls. She is, your team's leader. How much trust do you have in her to be able to play when she's in foul trouble?
17 points for Cooper. Donovan back into the game for UAlbany. Off a dribble, Hill. 7 on the shot clock. Phillips up top. Donovan with Burrows. 1 on the shot clock. She gets it off in time. Misses short. Second chance, score! Delaney Hill with the biggest bucket of her young career.
Just a freshman, but she's so steady at all times. You can't tell that she's a freshman by watching her play. Always in the right spot.
Varejao blocked by Falcao. But Syracuse keeps it. Under 10 on the shot clock. Burrows, a high arcing pass. Wood goes up. Fouled by the much smaller Hill.
Not really much that Hill could do there. She was trying her best to avoid a foul. But with Wood so much taller, wasn't really anything that she could do.
Wood goes back to the line as Syracuse is in the bonus. She's made all 4 of her free throws in the final quarter. Started her career at Temple, has played for Coach Jack each of the last 3 years here on the Hill. Stays a 1-point game. Wood 4 for 5 tonight, but her number is much worse on the season from the stripe. But she bucks the trend. Orange by 2, under 3.5 to play. Full court press from Syracuse. Hill and Schmidt, a couple of freshmen in the crunch time moments. Cooper still on the bench for UAlbany with 4 fouls. Donovan on Wood. A second effort. Fades away. And it rolls in. Shooter's touch from Donovan. Up to 17.
That was just an excellent finish there. You said the shooter's touch.
Schmidt catches it, pulls up for two. Perfect. Orange back in front, 2.5 to play. Schmidt, her first, check that second bucket of the game. Donovan, can she get it done again? Wood pokes a three. Donovan tries to get it back from Burrows. It stays with UAlbany, but just 4.5 on the shot clock. Cooper back into the game.
The Orange have really picked things up on the defensive end in these last few minutes. They haven't allowed anyone to get by them. The issues for Syracuse earlier on was when they got beat, then it all fell apart, then there was an open shooter, but they've really picked things up here.
Phillips lobs it in, Cooper catches, Cooper does her thing. We're tied once more. Cooper up to 19.
You got to attack her now. She's got 4 fouls. Go at her, try and get her out of this game.
Schmidt can do just that, dumps it off the wood, and she lays it in with ease. Coach Jack burns the timeout, trying to find the way to hold on to the advantage with under 2 to go. Syracuse and UAlbany. This game, not getting away from the Great Danes just yet. Great execution off the inbound.
That's perfect. Kyra Wood was just watching too much. She lost her player behind her. And how about that from Olivia Schmidt? She has just impressed so much on the defensive end, on the offensive end. The freshman has really done it all.
Coach Jack, assistants Kyrie Carter, Ty Evans, and Kristen Sharkey trying to find a way to make sure the Orange don't lose to the Great Danes for the first time in program history. What's the message as they break the huddle?
They got to stay calm on the offensive end. So many turnovers early in this game. They've really cleaned it up recently, but you can't beat yourself at this point in the game. You got to play clean.
UAlbany is not. We talked a lot about their early foul trouble, and it's come back to bite them. Their 2 leading scorers are both a foul away from bowing out. Casey Donovan and Kayla Cooper have combined for 36 points.
Those are 2 of this team's forwards, so if you're Syracuse on the offensive end, feed Varejao, feed Wood, get it down low, attack those players, try and get them out of the game.
Donovan, a great player at Monmouth, having her best game in a UAlbany uniform. Jessica Tomasetti, another one of the transfers Coach Mullen has brought in. Gotten off to this perfect start, trying to keep it that way. Down to 90 seconds to go. Tomasetti slips free. Phillips gets the screen from Cooper, her longtime teammate. Phillips takes it herself. Cooper the second chance. And she draws the foul on Varejao. The SU big can't believe it.
It's another offensive rebound, too, for UAlbany. That's the 12th of the game. It's just pure hustle. Phillips, her first shot, just airballs it, but perfect spot for Cooper. She reaches out, brings it in. This Great Danes team has just been relentless.
Free throws win you games, free throws lose you games. That's what Colleen Mullen told us before this one. Cooper has done everything in her power to secure one of UAlbany's best wins in program history. We're tied at 70. Cooper with 21. Schmidt in the biggest spot of her career. Back to her. Picks up the dribble. Kyra Wood has been so clutch in this 4th quarter. Phillips deflects it off of Burrows. 3 on the clock. Woolley the heave. Nowhere close.
I don't know how, on a possession with just under 90 seconds left, Georgia Woolley doesn't touch the ball until 1 second left. And she has been this team's best player throughout this game, up to 23 points, and she was just standing alone in the corner that whole possession.
70 up, under a minute to play. Adam, you would think that the ball is going to Kayla Cooper, who has won the Great Danes so many games over the last few seasons, but does Colleen Mullen almost avoid the obvious out of a break?
I think the obvious thing is you give it to Cooper. Maybe the thing you could do off of that, though, is try and find a shooter. If Syracuse collapses in on Cooper, if there's a double team, tell Cooper, you're kicking it out right away. Don't be afraid, because, I mean, look, she's been scoring it, but her teammates have really been involved as well. The three-point shot is what's kept UAlbany in this game. So you can go to Cooper, but don't be shocked if she also gives it up.
8 triples made for the Great Danes tonight. Tomasetti. Cooper faces up, gets the screen. In the corner, it's Phillips. Too strong. Syracuse the board, tossed away by Schmidt.
That last offensive possession was exactly the look that UAlbany wanted. Just as I said, Cooper drew the double team, kicked it into the corner, and they had the open three. And so a mistake there from Syracuse, and then just the mistake from Schmidt throwing it away.
It was almost like a soccer clearance. Schmidt just tried to get the ball out of harm's way, and she threw it right back to UAlbany.
I mean, that's a freshman mistake. That's a mistake that you make when you're playing just your 5th game at this level. If you're a point guard, you get the ball in your own territory, hold it, calm down. Instead, though, as you see, it's kicked into the corner. This was the open look that they wanted. The offensive the rebound goes right to Schmidt, and she tried to send it up the floor. You don't have to do that. You can just hold it, especially when you have 2 timeouts left. If you get double teamed quickly, Felicia Leggett-Jack could have helped you out, called a timeout, but you can't turn the ball over there.
UAlbany burned its second to last timeout. They chose to go to Phillips on that last possession as Kayla Cooper got her chance to give the Great Danes the lead under 40 seconds to go. Wood is glued on her. Tomasetti finds her anyway. Cooper towards the hoop. Offensive foul. Syracuse takes over as Izabel Varejao takes the charge.
The second that Cooper started this drive, I knew this was going to be a charge. She had her head down the entire way, wasn't looking up at all. Her shoulders were both pointed down. That's something that you don't usually see from Cooper. Usually she's keeping her head up, looking around, but when you put your shoulders down, that's just too easy of a call for the referee to make.
Timeout on the floor. Kayla Cooper, with that drive to the hoop, has fouled out of the game. Her team's gonna have to get it done without her. Tied at 70, under 25 seconds to play. Syracuse down to 1 timeout. Georgia Woolley, it's been her night. Best scoring game of the season with 23 points. The only other player in double figures is Varejao. Where do you go?
I think you gotta go to Varejao inside, because Woolley, yes, has 23 points, but it's been difficult for her. She has made some crazy acrobatic shots that have somehow gone in. Varejao has been able to score with ease at times. There's such a massive size advantage, especially now with Cooper out of the game, one of the better post defenders on this team. You gotta think it goes to Varejao. The other question is, does Syracuse just wait for the last shot?
Shot clock is turned off. Woolley backs down Phillips. Varejao gets it back to her. 15 seconds. Woolley, shot up, shot in, no! Charge! We're going back the other way.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Back-to-back charges. I mean, that's perfect from Donovan. Stands right there. Woolley ran right into her chest. I mean, that's going to be a charge every single time.
The Syracuse faithful can't believe it. The UAlbany possession ended with Kayla Cooper fouling out. Varejao taking the charge, and deja vu on the other end. The Great Danes, with under 12 seconds left, Adam, have a chance to pick up just their second Power 4 win in program history. Kayla Cooper is out of the cards.
But the one thing that UAlbany has this year that, is really going to set them apart is the experience transfers. This is where you can really rely on Jessica Tomasetti or Casey Donovan players who were all conference at their schools before they came here. These are players who have had the ball at the last second in big moments before, so you can trust them. Even though your star, your first-team all-conference player, Kayla Cooper, is out, you have other options.
17 points for Donovan on the game, 11 in the second half. Grew up just outside of Binghamton, from Penn State to Monmouth to UAlbany, a chance to have a signature moment with her new team. Under 12 to go, Phillips to trigger. Gets it into Donovan. Tied at 70. Tomasetti back to Donovan. 5 seconds. Phillips, 3. Lead! UAlbany 73, Syracuse 73 and a half to go. Orange burn their final timeout.
I don't get it. I don't get what Syracuse was doing defensively there, trying to double the ball. You can't go and try and get the turnover here because it's just going to leave someone open. There's 2 players behind the ball and then just wide open in the corner. That's been the issue, not just today, the entire season, leaving shooters open. I think that's just too aggressive. You got to stay on your opposition, stay on the opponent. You can't leave a shooter open in a spot like that.
What a moment for Lilly Philips. She drills the 3, but it's not over yet. Georgia Woolley with 23 points. Does she get the ball with 3.5 seconds to go and her team down 3?
It's got to be her or Burrows.
Schmidt gets it in the Burrows. She gets the shot up in time. Air ball game for the second time in program history. UAlbany has knocked off a Power 4 opponent.